And I like to travel, you know? Like, I'm not afraid to travel. Like, I went on this whole travel by myself kind of thing. And now that I sit here back in my house, in my room, in my bed, I could have saved myself the trouble and the money by not going, but there's something about me that knew I had to go. Like, I had to go, and there's no logical argument for it. I just couldn't not have spent the money, not heard from him, held out hope the whole time that maybe he would hit me back while I was there and like come through Superman style and like save the rest of the week. But I still booked the Airbnb. I still went out there and took the Megabus. I got there and I'm sitting in the Airbnb on Saturday night. I'm like, yo, what's up, dude? I made it. Like, telling myself, like, nice, dude, you went the whole fucking way. But you're just talking to yourself.
Yo, this goes out to everybody doing their thing and stuff like that. What's up, homies? This song goes out to all the homosexuals that want to make love to me. Just to reach you. Just to reach you.
Just to reach you. I'm not familiar.
Come to my window. Crawl inside. Wait by the light of the moon.
I don't even know what this song is.
Come to my window. I'll be home soon. I'll be home. And then we can make love.
He'll be home real soon. So, if any of you are single homosexuals looking for a date,
Yeah.
Brandon apparently
Not
is
even a
entertaining.
date. Not even a date. Just show up. We'll see what happens.
Just come throw rocks at his window and he'll sing straight to you.
No, crawl inside. Wait by the light of the moon.
All the way. What's up, people? It's the Thejokerandthesmoker 25. Off to a weird start as always.
Well,
That's how we gotta do it though, you know.
how you doing, Isaac?
Well, you know, I'm doing okay. If I edit that into the beginning, you guys might have just heard, or edit it right after this. I went to Texas for a week. I think I told you guys last
Hell
time.
yeah.
It was, this episode is, I think one of the subtitles is going to be a failed vacation attempt, because that's very much what it was, which kind of totally sucks. Like, I booked the trip out a long time in advance, supposed to meet somebody there. It didn't all fall through. I flew to Houston, sat at the airport for a little bit, caught an Uber, and I rode a Megabus, and then I hopped on the Megabus from Houston to Austin. Then I got an Airbnb in Austin, and then I got there Saturday night, and I was supposed to go to this convention on Sunday, and then literally, like, fell into this, like, weird hole of depression and, like, self-loathing where I was like, damn, dude, I went this whole way, and, like, I bought 2 day passes for the Sunday thing, and, like, I was supposed to go to this convention with somebody else, and none of it worked out, and literally I just, like, slept all day and even missed the convention personally and didn't go by myself.
Damn. You told me, would you have went by yourself if you didn't oversleep?
That's, I think, part of the reason why I didn't, because one of the things that I was talking to myself about, like, some of the audio I might play in this episode that I'm referencing, when I got home early, like, I ended up booking a flight back home halfway through the week and just kind of kept to myself about it. Yeah, but I got home and literally just recorded like a 45-minute dialogue of all my thoughts and stuff because it was such a very weird trip in and of itself from the jump. Like, I woke up in the morning, I was supposed to go to the airport, and I was like, I should not go on this trip. Like, I'm going to waste money. It's not going to work out. I just knew it. Like, I felt it in my gut, and that was a real feeling. But I woke up and went and caught the flight and did everything anyways. And part of the excitement in going to it, have you ever been to any conventions or anything, like, besides, like, concerts or, like, just true, not festival gatherings, but just gatherings of people in the numbers of thousands all in one place for the same thing, whether it be, like, car shows or kind of, like, little things like that. So They've gained a lot of popularity within like the last 5 to 10 years.
Right. Yeah. They realize how much money they can make.
Comic-Con really set it all off, and now like there's a convention for damn near anything.
Well, it's because of how much money they can make. They say like Norman Reedus, he walks away from one of those like it was Comic-Con when like Walking Dead was huge.
Oh yeah.
Norman Reedus, he walked away with like $1.6 million in bags because it was all cash because people wanted a signature or a photo with him.
Like
he's like $10 a photo, $5 a signature.
Exactly.
You want me to sign a photo that I take with you? That's $20.
And people will stand in line for hours just to get it and give him the money. And the first convention I went to was Lexington Comic-Con, pretty much. That was like the first legit convention I went to with a buddy. And it was really cool. I got to meet like I've met all of the original Power Rangers except for the yellow one because she's dead. And
she was a bitch anyways, dude. Just throwing that out there. I don't know who you are, and I shouldn't talk bad about the dead.
Her Power Ranger name was Trini. I forget what her real life name was.
Honestly, I hated when you were on screen. Just throwing that out there.
Just hating on him. Just hating on him.
Good luck to all the red.
You're gonna get your ass kicked by the Power Rangers fans, bro.
Not her. She's dead. The white. I bet you I could take her in a cage match.
Jason David Frank is the Green Ranger, and the other Red Ranger that was really popular. All those Power Rangers, even the ones that weren't in the original series, they come to these Comic-Cons and like they still have enough of a grasp where they walk away from the weekend with a couple thousand.
Damn.
Just for showing up to a role that they don't even participate in anymore, but because enough people watch it and they go about it the correct way, people stand in line and give them money too. So it's like it's really it's prime time to cash in on nostalgia in those terms of things.
Right.
But this was a very different convention, and I only ask if you've been to one because I asked the listeners as well. If you haven't gone to one, try to find one in your area related to something you're interested in. Because what I've made it analogous to is I've decided that nothing is sacred anymore, and like most of us people our age don't take like any kind of sacraments or religious sentiments to heart as much as maybe our forefathers did or our previous generation. So in my mind, psychologically, from like a sociological aspect, these conventions are modern day pilgrimages.
All right.
You know, because I literally came from Ohio all the way down to Texas.
You're starting your own cult.
That's kind of what Rooster Teeth is, like, jokingly. Like, in any kind of huge online following, it feels a little bit like a cult because all these people just have one-way dialogues and relationships with these other personalities.
And they don't give a fuck.
And they
just
don't
live in their life.
But it's nice when they are at least genuine about it. And, like, these people were at this convention. And, like, I had the opportunity to go to this panel to meet these two guys I really like Bruce and Adam from Funhouse and a couple other people. And there was a panel there on running a multicam podcast that I could have went to, and I was just like, God damn it, where's Brandon?
Of a bitch.
Yeah, and like I
should have showed up. The issue was you tried to tell me like a day ahead, like, hey,
I know, yeah, right, and that's why I was like, I was just holding out hope.
I understand where you were coming from because it's like, hey, I plan to go with this motherfucker.
Yeah,
there's
I got
still a chance. I understand.
And right over there on the wall are the two passes hanging. And then I didn't even fucking.
I understand it.
Right?
I understand it.
So I guess what I'm getting at is I made the long leg of the pilgrimage to the damn near to the site and location of where it was supposed to be.
Right.
But I didn't go through with it for a very unknowing reason on my own part, and it's like it's kind of disheartening and just like discouraging, but I'm not mad at my friend who didn't show up, who I still haven't heard from, because like what I've come to the conclusion of is I have my own things that I can't answer for, so it's okay that I guess this hasn't been answered for. But you know, it's just, like it bums you out, you know, because you know you got your dudes. Everybody has their friends, and I think this happens to everyone in life who ever has any kind of close friends. Things kind of fall out eventually, in some sort of way. Yeah, and that's a really hard part of being an adult and accepting like when things are gonna hit the fan like that unexpectedly. But yeah, that's kind of my whole week wrapped up in a bunch. But I still got paid for the days on vacation for PTO and came back early and got my computer fixed. That's why we're recording and nothing's shutting down.
Awesome.
Yeah. So. All in all, it was I learned a lot going there, even though I accomplished almost nothing and only wasted money. And now I know how to book Airbnbs. I know about the going rate for them. I know I can get to damn near any city, any big metropolis city in America on the Megabus for like $20 or $40, like one way.
That ain't bad.
I got an experience in traveling, and I'm a little more seasoned traveler now, which is really all I can say from my failed attempt to Texas. But Texas, you were awesome. Houston, cool. Didn't see any of it except for the airport. I get this. I didn't even take any goddamn pictures. If you ask me right now to prove I was in Austin, I almost can't. I have to show you my Google location history. I literally, dude, I didn't take any pictures. I took
no pictures.
One picture of a menu in the Houston airport because I had some Slammin' biscuits and gravy and a double Jack and Coke for breakfast off the plane. So, yeah, don't ask me to prove it because I can't. But I did go to a place called the Alamo Draft House. The only thing I did go and do was go see stand-up bit that I'm working on. I went on vacation recently. I spent about $800 to see Toy Story 4.
Yo!
And that's it, really. I went to the movie theater by myself at the Alamo Draft House in Mueller. And do you remember a few years ago when, like, luxury movie theaters weren't the popular thing yet? Like, full recliner seats and cup holders and shit?
Yeah, I remember that.
So, in my mind, I don't know if this is factually true or not, but the Alamo Draft House, they're big on, like, cinema as it used to be. So, like, if Tarantino films a new film in, like, you know, whatever millimeter reel that he does all the shit in, they'll show that reel, like, the master reel, for the preview showing. So it's like a cinema that really takes cinema
legit.
seriously. Yeah. And there's two of those. There's the more famous one I didn't make it to, but I made it to the one that was closer to me down there. It was called Alamo Draft House in Mueller. And it was really cool to just go out and see everything is developing everywhere. Like, they were building up new kind of commercial residential places to live and rent and go out to eat and shit. And I'm just like, it's everywhere. But Austin was a cool city of what I got to experience.
Was everything bigger?
Not like they say it was, but my Uber drivers were friendly and cool. So,
like, were the trees bigger? What about the houses? What about the forks?
None of it. I would say there were a lot of trucks. I think the trucks. Not that they were bigger, but there was a lot more of them. There was a bigger number of trucks.
I think Texas is full of shit.
It was fun. I really did have fun, and I learned some things that I didn't expect to encounter or confront. And I don't know, if I could just sit here and sulk and pout about a failed vacation, but instead I'm like really trying to look at the whole thing retrospectively. And not only can I plan a better vacation next time, but I'll be more careful about how I plan it and how I go about purchasing it and committing to those things, you know.
I feel it, brother.
Yeah, so that's Mr. Isaac's portion of what I've been up to, because we haven't come to you guys with a full episode in a long time.
In a minute, because we had technical difficulties.
We have had TDs all day and not touchdowns.
Technical difficulties. Want to talk about the worst one ever?
What's up?
There was a Netflix documentary about it. Christine, and she was a news reporter in Florida.
Okay.
And she was real upset that the news only reported bad things. And this is back in like the 80s, right?
Okay.
She was like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't like doing this. Okay. So she decided that she would end the broadcast on air live.
Yeah.
She'd be like, you know what? We're in doing this. She's like, you know what? You guys have a great Halloween day. And this is the last time you see me. Pulled out a gun and shot herself on live TV on the news in Florida. And then it was it was Halloween, so everybody thought it was a prank, so no one believed it. But no, that bitch was dead.
Dude, that's unsettling.
No.
That's some American Horror Story shit.
Like, if you want to go out, go out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if you have the resources, why not stream it to everybody?
I just heard a little snippet of a bit by Nick Swardson, and he's like, not that I want to commit suicide, but if I ever do, I want to just yell something really random right before I do it. Like, who the fuck farted?
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone's just like, what did that guy just say?
Yeah, looks at him, and then next thing you know, kill yourself.
Like, it's not funny at all, but it's hilarious to think about.
I think it's funny.
On the news, or, who the fuck farted. But don't blow your brains out, guys. Don't do that.
No, don't do that. It's a beautiful day. I say that to everybody at work.
Pursue
not
assisted
everybody.
euthanasia.
Yeah, for real, that should be legal. But I actually walk into work every day. I just look at people that I like, because there's a lot of people that I don't like. I just look at them and I was like, it's going to be a beautiful day.
There you go.
And they're like, Brandon, you're so funny. And I'm like, no, I'm just trying to convince myself that it's going to be a good fucking day.
Just keep repeating it, yeah. If I say it enough times, it'll be true.
Well, I do. Like, if I say it once, I'm good for 5 minutes. Like, I'm happy. But if I say it to those 3 people and I get their, like, feedback,
positive reinforcement.
Like, all right, I'm happy right now because I affected somebody's life.
That mutual energy, yeah.
Like, one girl, she just cracks up laughing. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah. Like, are you laughing at me or laughing with me?
I don't even give a shit. I'm just trying to have a good day.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you don't enjoy it, fuck
just
you.
Tomorrow, tell her to have the ugliest one. Just be like,
well, no, I can't do that because that's going to make me have a bad day, buddy.
No, or it'll make your day even better because you'll see her crumble underneath the weight of her laughter.
Just be like, listen, cunt.
Like, laugh at that, yeah.
I don't need no laughs. Just
ain't
say
a
it's
joke.
going to be a beautiful fucking day.
It's been a beautiful day every day until today, and you're going to have the most beautiful day today. just like get real serious. Huh?
Yeah, get
Have
all
a good
serious
one.
on her, and then just walk away. Like, bye.
Pull out the gun, put it in your mouth.
Yeah. Bye. Pull the trigger, but there's nothing in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Oh my god! She just cries and runs away.
Told you it's gonna be a beautiful day. I'm still here, and then just walk
Yeah,
away.
you just laugh.
Very
Laugh
casually.
and laugh.
Yeah, then laugh at her. Like, dumb bitch.
Oh man, but what's new with you, man? How's work been and how's life been?
Well, my now boss got cancer in the brain.
I think you did you briefly talk about him having it before?
I don't know if I talked
Maybe
about
it was
it
on
having
or
it
off the
before.
podcast.
I think it was off the podcast.
Okay.
It came back, and they were like, "Yo, you don't have enough brain tissue to do radiation again."
Wow.
So they went in and they like he was all, fuck it, I'll say whatever I want to say. Fuck it. He was all hopeful about it, like, oh, I caught it early, and this is the second time he had it, like, it came back.
Okay.
All right. So then they're like, okay, he goes in and he fucked up by not going and getting CAT scans or MRIs, whatever.
Earlier.
So, because you're supposed to do it on the yearly, especially if you already had it beforehand.
Right.
Lost the thread there. Can you phrase it another way?
Oh gosh.
Besides that,
yeah.
so he had it before, nonsense, and then he stopped doing fucking CAT scans because he's like, oh, it's been 5 years, this bitch ain't coming back, I'm good.
Okay.
And then it's now 7 years. 2 years later, he never got a CAT scan. He thought he caught it early because he's like, oh, I'm just having like little lightheaded
You
spells.
get a little.
Well, it came back and it's like fucking stage 4. It's moving over to the other side of the brain.
Jesus.
They did surgery, and he was all hopeful, basically lying to
Lord.
everybody. He knew how bad it was. He just wouldn't tell anybody. And
Probably just still trying to convince himself.
yeah, they couldn't take it all out. That's basically where they're at. And then now they can't do radiation. And then
Because of the tissue, the little amount. of
he's
tissue
still lying to everybody, and I'm a logical thinker. They're
Right.
like, hey, I get to go home tomorrow. And that was on Sunday.
Yeah.
So he gets to go home the next day, which would be today. He gets to go home. And then he's like, everybody's like, oh, he gets to go home. That's like a good thing. And I'm sitting here, and me and this one other dude are like looking at each other like, no, it's not a good thing. They're basically saying, we can't do anything for you.
Yeah.
Stop wasting your money. If you have any more serious issues, come back.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to just live with this.
And yeah, especially
it's going to keep getting worse.
a person who owns
Sorry.
a business doesn't leave early willingly unless
No.
there's like a life calling other than
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So,
unfortunate, man. What do you think? How do you think it's going to proceed, like over the next 6, 8, 12 months?
well, I mean, some people are real hopeful.
Right.
Like some people are like, say your prayers. I'll keep them in my prayers.
Yeah, not the prayer circle now.
And I'm like, to me, personally, like it's a thought. I understand that's the thought that you're throwing out, but
Wishful thinking does
there-
wonders.
there's a lot of people who work with my business.
Mm-hmm.
They believe like, oh, that's all you need. Like they're Christian fundamentalists.
That
Like
it's
that's
gonna
all
take care
you
of it,
need.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't need medicine. You don't need to take pills.
Totally holistic religious.
Yeah,
healing.
basically. So I'm looking at them like, why don't you throw the guy like $100 and he can pay his electric bill for another month because he's gonna be out of work for a minute.
Yeah.
Rather than
Sometimes I feel like sometimes people use those means of like kind words as substitute, and it's like
get out of jail free card.
exactly, yeah. It's like that's very little sympathy or empathy, either way you put it. It's
Yeah.
like- but
Definitely.
and it's kind of like, you know, I'm always hesitant to tell people like, oh, so and so just died, their relative or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to just say, oh, my condolences or whatever. You know, like, I don't want to just emptily say, sorry that person's dead, and not even mean it. You know?
What are you doing today?
Exactly, yeah. Like, beyond that, how's your day?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not even going to mention it.
Like I understand that person's dead, but how else is your day going?
Exactly, yeah. What's up, going on?
Yeah.
Tell me all about it.
You want to go drinking later? I know he's dead. Come on now, we can get over it.
Yeah, we can forget about that.
But so that happened, and then my old boss, like the reason I work at this fucking job right now, if it wasn't for him, I would have left.
Right.
I don't know why I'm here now. Honestly,
I know what you mean.
he's the person that I've showed up, and
To work for.
yeah, I mean that like it was all respect too.
Right.
It's like you ain't even gotta pay me. I'll show up here for free and just do the work.
And it's a good feeling to work for somebody that you actually can, you know, proudly profound your work for and say I work for this person and do this
Exactly.
work, because nobody likes to work for somebody who doesn't appreciate their work that they put into it and nobody wants to work for disrespectful assholes.
And it makes you work harder.
It does.
If they appreciate and you want to work for them, that's going to make you want to do your job 100 times better, 10 times better.
Exactly.
If you're sweeping, you're going to get the nooks and crannies.
Yeah, you're
rather
going to
than
take
just
the extra
going
time
over.
instead
Yeah,
of
exactly.
just pushing through push through motions.
So he's back,
Undoubtedly.
and I always bitch about work.
Yeah.
Well, he actually came back, and he realized how like bullshit work was.
Oh.
And the reason I was like 45 minutes late today is
Yeah.
because he walked up to me in the morning. He's
Okay.
like, okay, I can already see it's bad. He's like, I'm going to give it a week,
Right.
and then I'll say something. No, we had a 45-minute conversation
Right
after work
after
about
work,
it
yeah.
with other people who were supposed to be in charge.
Gotcha.
And just the
At least
excuses you
everybody was-
hear.
Oh, yeah.
Just the excuses you hear. And then I'm sitting there like, you're wrong. You're right. He's here now, and I'm actually going to say you're wrong.
Exactly.
Because the other guy had no idea what the fuck he was doing.
And sometimes you just have to wait for that right person to be in the circle and then be like, all right, look, I've been saying this the whole time, and
Because
I'm finally going to say it for real.
He'll also agree with the bullshit. Like, yeah, that is
But just
bullshit.
people just go along, yeah.
He won't go along with, oh, this is the reason why.
Yeah, just their rebuttal and
He'll-
try to
he'll
take
be
all
like,
sides.
You're making excuses. You're a fucking idiot. What the fuck? Why isn't this getting done?
And,
He's just legit, and I'm like, I'm the same way. It's like,
and the fact that he already recognized that it was a mess means
One
he already
day.
knows in his mind what the acceptable answers are.
one day.
Yeah.
He said he was going to give it a week.
I know,
One
couldn't even
day.
make it through the whole day. Couldn't even do it.
It cracks me up. Cracks me the fuck up. How can you be that bad at your job and still have it?
Yeah, it's I think like America just needs jobs right now. Is I guess that bad. It's
There's a lot of people that want jobs.
yeah, and like they're building warehouses everywhere.
Everywhere.
There's even more coming up across from Amazon and Ace where I work at. And it's like, and like even right down the road from where I'm working at, there's a sign on the fence that says hiring forklift operators 15 to 17 an hour, I think, which is
Damn.
more than I make. And it's like,
You thinking about leaving?
yeah, kind of, but my 401k benefits are really good. I get almost I get a 4% match to my 5% contribution.
Hey,
So I
man.
make 9% off every check for 401k. I have
Would that transfer though?
yeah, eventually I can
Okay.
transfer it to an IRA if I want to.
I mean, would it transfer over to the new warehouse?
It should, yeah.
Okay.
And I still need to fill out paperwork for my old job because I should have a decent amount of money in a 401k now that I'm almost 30 and I've been working this long. But I've worked for like a couple major companies that have allowed me some
I don't like that
some
pen.
benefit money.
I don't
yeah.
like that pen. That pen's junk. People don't buy junk pens.
Oh yeah,
I can't get a
did you
good
replace
fucking
your old
hit
one?
of it. Yeah, well, the button broke. I told
That's
yeah,
right,
we were
yeah,
here.
yeah. Did
I was
he
like,
help
the
you out?
button broke. No,
Oh,
he
what
was
a
a
bitch.
dickhead. So now I'm gonna take this one back. And
Yeah.
he gave me $5 off. Fuck him.
Exactly.
But he's gonna give me a new one.
Smokehouse calling you out. You guys are shit. I went there and there was an Amazon. I have a butane torch right over here on my desk right now. I could grab it
Yeah.
right now, but I won't. Found it on Amazon for $13. Went in there. They had it on the same shelf for $35. I was like,
Yeah.
look here, bro. This shit is $13 on Amazon. I was like, I'll give you 20 for it right now. He only had to come down $13 or $13 or $15 on his price. I had it in my hand that I can get it for cheaper, and he wouldn't
Right.
fucking do it.
He wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I can't even come shop there no more because it's like, what the fuck, bro. But
I
I'll
agree
still
with
go
that.
in there because like I bought a nice dab rig off of him.
They
even
have
though I
nice
don't smoke.
pieces. I will
They
say
have-
that.
Yeah, they have more unique pieces than most mass manufactured pieces you see. And
Yeah.
every smoke shop you go into nowadays, if it's not locally ran and owned and operated, it's just Chinese.
Mass
manufactured
quantities
import.
of bullshit. Bad glass, people. Trust me, you don't want bad glass.
Also, if you blow glass, hit me up because I really want to learn. I need to know like how much of an initial investment I need in order to start with warm glass. I think soft glass they might call it, or cold
Yeah,
glass is where you
soft
just work with
glass.
the pipes instead of like
Yeah.
actually a molten freaking lava
Yeah.
heap. But that like you can do pieces out of that and stuff. And I want to go like glass pieces and pendants for necklaces and stuff.
That'd be awesome. Because
But-
everybody in the world has broken a stem, and if you could just make one of those,
I know, yeah, and just have a, and I could even go like you have to have vendors licenses and stuff to go like to
Sell it.
festivals and stuff. But
Yeah.
I could
Oh,
easily just set up a suitcase shop.
yeah, just walk around.
I'm on the side, yeah.
It's not the most illegal thing you'll be
Yeah,
doing
exactly.
that day.
I doubt that at a festival many people will be busting heads on that note. But yeah, dude. Speaking of pins, I still cannot find mine. I've lost mine for about going on 2.5-3 weeks now, and it's driving me up a wall. My girlfriend thinks that and we both recall me having it last when we went to the zoo on account of my work's dime. So I remember having it there, but I also remember having this black drawstring bag on my back,
Yeah.
and I can't find the pin or the bag, which leads me to believe it's in there, but I'm going to be even more upset if I find the bag and it's not. But I don't know what else could be in the bag, because I don't remember what else. I can't find that from that day, but I have a pen with like an over half full pen with full
Damn.
cartridge, yeah, and I'm just like balls.
I just bought 5. You have to hold.
That one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Bam. We got it, people.
Tastes pretty tasty.
It's mojito,
And they're nice, very nice.
but it's very. I can't get the goddamn thing to fucking produce nothing. This is what happens when you buy Chinese bullshit, people. It don't
Long
fucking
draws.
work. What's that look like?
This.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
23 minutes.
I gotta talk to you about the zoo, dude.
Yeah.
What kind of animal do you think is most overrated?
Most overrated?
Yeah. House pet.
You mean the house pets that are in the zoo? Or
No,
which
I
house
was just
pets
talking
do I
about animals, and it led me into house pets. What kind of animals? What kind of house pet is overrated?
Lizards. I think people like, not that I don't like people who keep lizards, but it's just like the only more unnatural you could create an environment for your animal would be having an intelligent marine life inside your bathtub.
Right.
Or like
Octopus,
yeah, or like
a whale.
a polar bear in your garage, thinking that it's an acceptable
that.
environment, you know. Like, but you know, I got the freezer and the operator, the whole it's kept at a sub-zero temperature. It's cool. It's a polar bear, you know. It's
Well-
like people think like I don't know. I don't understand people's fascinations with unique and unusual house pets.
You know,
And how they're
fucking-
like, oh, he's such a cute little lizard. Like, no, it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
you
for
know,
real.
it's a
For real.
snake.
like
It's a lizard,
that. My shout out to my cousin.
right?
You're a fucking idiot. He owns spiders and he like breeds them and shit.
Oh gosh,
and, like,
yeah. And I understand like connoisseurs and like.
No, what are you doing with your life?
with?
Get a new hobby. Get a new fucking hobby.
Yeah, you
Where's
know-
that gonna lead you? Name me the most famous spider breeder.
Arachnophobist.
Now, name it.
Can't.
It's
Can't.
it's the people in that movie that killed him with fucking what was that?
Flamethrowers or something.
Oh, I was confusing that with the aliens and the Head and
Oh,
Shoulders.
okay. yeah.
With that one dude from Sean William Scott or something like that,
Something like that.
and he sings that song. No, he does caca on like the loudspeaker in the mall. Caca.
Oh
And then
man.
the bird comes.
Caw.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But does he have a lot of spiders though, like
Yeah,
tarantulas and stuff?
he has a
Hairy ones.
He has a decent amount of big ones,
Okay.
but then he has like, because when they breed, you know, they breed like 100 at a
I
time,
know, it's horrifying.
and they're so like tiny.
yeah.
It's like, dude, I would.
Not
Dude,
just opening those lids.
if you told me, hey, will you watch my spiders? I'm going out of town. I would light that bitch on fire. I would
Yeah.
light my whole apartment on fire.
Yeah.
Fuck
Not
this shit.
at
I'm
all.
lighting this on. Once I saw 100 eggs and like 100 of them just crawling around.
Flamethrower.
No, sorry, bud. Something crazy.
Going down.
Someone came in and stole all the aquariums you gave me. I'm sorry.
It just happened exactly like that.
Yeah, that's weird. But no, I was thinking about cats, and I don't like cats at all, dude.
Cats, like, I'm convinced that they see something other than what we see.
I'm not even talking about. Cats are predators, bro.
They
How-
are, which makes them even more impressive that they've been docile, like that they are docile house animals. Considering that you'll still see one,
But they'll
get a
attack
mouse,
you at
yeah.
any time.
That's what's scary. Yeah.
A cat, like even a house cat.
And I hate how uninterested they are, even in their owners. It's like, you bitch, I feed you. You
That's
know,
the-
like,
that's the issue
show
with
me some
cats.
attention.
Like I'm okay with dogs.
I think I like the cats that I've liked the most in my life are cats who are in a household that are outnumbered by dogs, because cats tend to act more like dogs.
Yeah, as long as they like grow, you have to find a special. There's always
Yeah.
exceptions.
Exactly.
There's
yeah.
always exceptions.
And like my girlfriend has a Maine Coon, which are really cool. Like those are like the only kind of cats.
She
I
has
like.
a raccoon.
Maine Coon. Talking
What
about
is
weird-
that? Is that related
It's a-
to a raccoon?
No. It's a brand. It's a breed of cat. It has like real long, like it's the longest hair. One of the longest haired cats, like that are house cats.
Oh my god!
You've definitely probably seen one.
You're
But
teaching me about cats over
yeah,
here, buddy.
I know, right? There's like there's Calico, there's Maine Coon, there's Siamese. Those are the only 3 breeds of cats I know.
Well, okay.
Chesterfield or Garfield?
Garfield is definitely a breed,
A breed,
of cat.
yeah, definitely.
It's orange and white
Well, yeah, always. That's
and
always
fat.
automatically what they're called.
and likes lasagna.
Always.
That's the breed of a Garfield.
Garfield's. If you have a Garfield, let's bring him on this podcast.
No, send in a photo. I'd love to see it.
That would be fantastic, actually.
So you're talking to me about
But
this
I'm not- the-
raccoon.
The raccoon cat.
Yeah, you're talking to me about this raccoon cat that's stealing mushroom.
I can't. Maybe
marshmallows.
What did it steal?
Marshmallows.
Where? From where?
Well, that's how
Did
you
I
catch.
say that?
That's how you catch a raccoon.
Oh, okay. No, but she did say there are raccoons out in her garage, which I was like. She said she tried to feed them, and I was like, no, what are you doing?
Why would she feed a raccoon to hang out with her Maine Coon? What is going on with it? It sounds like she has like a group of raccoons just hanging around, and then she lets one inside.
Just
And
like
then if
hanging
you-
out.
Yeah, if you were to like walk inside and be like, "What the fuck is that?" She'd be like, "That's my Maine Coon." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just to fool it. That would be pretty funny. I'll have to tell her we might have to run that whole comedy sketch through the.
You
through the
might
rings.
need to get that fucking Maine Coon of fucking 23andMe, because I guarantee you that's a raccoon just disguising itself.
As a cat.
They already
They're pretty smart.
they already have a little mask,
That's
little
true.
bandits.
Yeah. But yeah, she has 3 cats and she has 1 dog, and
Goddamn.
ironically, what I was just talking about, her dog acts more cat-like
Really?
than he does a dog. But it's one of the most adorable dogs I've ever seen. It's like a dog with a permanent puppy face.
How much does it weigh?
The dog or the cat?
With the dog.
The dog weighs probably like 45, 50 pounds.
Okay, that's a legitimate dog.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a what's her name? Kia is her name. Why name it after a car? I don't know.
Does she drive a Kia?
No, a Nissan. But
Oh, I was thinking like maybe she's a blonde. She
No.
doesn't want to forget what kind of car she drives. She doesn't want to forget the dog's name.
No. She's quite bright. Bless her heart.
Good, good.
But I'll have to ask her about like the Kia name. But and then there's Tupac is one cat's name, and then
Tupac?
that's what I said. And then Kingsley is the Maine Coon raccoon.
Kingsley. So it has a black name. Your girlfriend might be a little bit racist. She has a Maine Coon named Kingsley.
It's do you know what you know who what's his name? Dude who H.P. Lovecraft. You know the author who wrote like the horror stories back in the day? H.P. Lovecraft.
No, I never heard that name.
What? Well,
okay, why does everybody who's an author change their name to like J.R.R. Tolkien?
yeah, exactly. It's all like
Give me your first name, motherfucker.
yeah. But HP, I think it was Howard something. But he popularized what's called cosmic horror. And the only reason I'm bringing all this up is because they're talking about racist cat names. He was H.P. Lovecraft was blatantly racist completely, and his cat's name was Niggerman.
No way.
yeah, yeah. You can look it up right now. I promise. And like
You had a cat
named. Yeah.
Nigger man. Why would you want a cat? Like, it doesn't even sound enjoyable. Like, because if you named like you would have to name something. If you were racist, you'd have to name something you didn't like.
You
that
would think,
name.
yeah.
Like,
You wouldn't emblazon it, so you could
Yeah.
you could actively call it out.
come here. You know what I'm saying? Let me pet you.
Yeah, you got here.
You know what I'm saying? That's not okay.
So, yeah, not that we're laughing at that, but hopefully you guys can factually check that up for me, because otherwise I'm just a crazy lunatic making.
No, I'm not laughing at the
It's the
the
idea
name
of
of
it,
it.
right? It's-
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
laughing at the idea of it.
Exactly.
Especially if he was a racist.
And he was very much xenophobic, which is where you're actually like xenophobic is a step beyond racism, which some people accuse Trump of being. It's where you're actually not only racist and prejudiced against people who are not your race, it's that you are blatantly afraid of them and their differences. So it's like you're afraid of the cultural impact behind their alternative identity and the likes that their culture is not yours. So if you see or know people who are like totally thrown off, like you can almost see xenophobia like in terms of white nationalists and stuff. It's like, why are you people chanting about these things? You know, you're afraid of something There's a little bit more beyond. We just don't like these folks. I think, I don't know.
Idiots. That's what I call them. You need to subscribe. You need to leave a rate and review on a motherfucking iTunes or any platform you listen to.
Anyone you want.
That's next ballot coming out, y'all. We're actually, I was thinking. I was thinking I need to talk to Isaac about this.
Yeah, what you think?
We need to set up a time where we can make an actual introduction song.
I know. I was thinking about that too. We need to think about Joker and the Smoker.
Token and joking.
Joking and smoking, thinking and drinking.
Yeah.
My middle name is Lincoln.
Ooh.
And then
I like
something
that.
about your middle name.
Yeah, your middle
And
name is Lincoln, like Lincoln Log. We
It
already
is.
talked about that. That's crazy, brother.
Linking them up, baby.
Hey, that reminds me. I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay.
We about to get real
Answer.
serious.
Daily double.
Do you have any guilty pleasures? Like that when I say guilty I don't want you to go like deep and do some
no.
weird nasty stuff. I'm talking like are you a fan of something mainstream that you would be ashamed to tell your friends? Act like these people ain't even listening.
Right, yeah, exactly. No, that being said, my answer was going to be previously my guilty pleasure truly was my intravenous drug use when I was a heroin addict. It's like that,
Okay.
but that's like dark on a lot of levels.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I meant like
Yeah,
now, and
exactly.
not that dark.
That's super guilty. That's super
Yeah.
guilty and dark.
He went there. He went
But like
there.
it was just weird in that sense. So like when I think guilty, I think like bad things.
Right.
But
I
in
don't
terms
mean
of
bad.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
just like it's childish. It's looked down
If
upon in culture.
If most other people watch like Funhouse and some of the videos that I watch on a regular basis,
Yeah.
they would probably find them extremely immature and like completely
Alright.
non-attentive based. So like
Right.
like me submersing myself in kind of like childish videos and humor
Yeah.
is kind of my guilty pleasure. Like I have to set aside time in my adult life to be a child.
Right,
kind
okay.
of.
I
So that's
respect
kind of
that.
my, whether it be video games or like certain amount of substances, it's like this is my time to be me and
Right.
get guilty and find pleasure.
I live that life though.
And I think people forget how to have like not have fun, but take everything
No,
so seriously.
it's
so much.
forget to have fun.
Yeah.
Because I walk like I said earlier, I walk into work every day and just be like, it's gonna be a beautiful day.
Yeah.
That's the child side of me. Like, oh, let's see what the day like. Maybe we can solve fucking missile crisis. I don't know.
Yeah. Anybody can come up with anything.
Yeah, like
Just keep your mind and your heart open.
people ask me, like I had grandparents, family ask me, like, when you gonna grow up? It's like, why the fuck do I need to grow
Yeah,
up?
like what's calling me that? Like, which boxes haven't I checked off yet?
Yeah,
you know?
what responsibility am I not fulfilling? Am I living my life? Am I paying my bills? Am I having fun?
And that's very I think
Okay.
a generational
Then leave me
idea
alone. Well, I am the only male
of the
on my
of-
one side of the family. Only male who hasn't had a kid yet. All
Okay.
of them had kids. Most of them
We're married.
Most of them not married.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, when they had the kid.
Right.
Like it was, I would say, at the moment, not a good
A
decision.
little unexpected.
Yeah. I would say not a good decision.
A little more than less than.
Well, I mean,
expected.
you could have an unexpected child and be ready to take care of said
Exactly,
child.
yeah.
Be in a better situation. They was not. But
And,
now I'm
yeah.
getting looked down upon. Like,
You
oh,
get
Brandon,
grilled for it, yeah.
oh, Brandon ain't got a kid yet.
It's like,
Oh,
yeah, sorry, I don't want to go broke. I'm just trying to feed my mouth and bills first.
yeah,
Like,
and I got extra money and I
My-
can have fun with it. And if you're gonna be mad that I'm going out and going to concerts, going out to go watch baseball games,
and
going out to do
enjoying
whatever,
my own
Yeah.
life, yeah.
whatever I want to do, then what the fuck does it matter to you? My bills are paid. I ain't coming to you asking for money. Yet these people are coming asking you for money for fucking diapers.
Exactly,
Get
yeah.
the fuck out
Yeah,
of here.
and you're hassling me. I think that's like, but the only thing that reasons my mind with theirs is that it used to be completely expected and
Right.
to be like 22, 23 and have a couple kids already and be settled down.
Yeah, but you're also expected to like land a great job out of high school. You're also expected
Exactly.
because
Everything's so ass backwards from
Yeah.
what these people remember being
yeah,
like
you're
their
also
life. It's like
yeah.
you don't realize how far removed you are from the society you were a part of,
Right.
and the one that is now facing the people our age in these circumstances.
And we have a million options.
Yeah.
When they grew up, it was just, okay, these are my options because this is what you grew up around. You
Yeah.
didn't know any difference.
Yeah.
You didn't know 8 towns over there was a fucking job opening for something you never done, but you had an idea about doing.
Exactly, and I'm really glad you said that, because one of the other things that I did mention when I was recording all that shit when I got home is that I feel like at a point in my life right now where I have such surety and certainty about who I am as a person and what I can accomplish if I decide to and set my mind to it, that feeling alone is like a huge boost of confidence and makes me confident about where I'm going.
Right.
But it gives me such a platform to do anything I want.
Exactly.
It's paralyzing. I know that I'm apt to choose any of these things I want to pursue, but it's like the ultimate fucking no whammy, because
Right.
that's the last thing I want to do is decide and be wrong or change my mind
Right.
later. But before I know it, I'll be 50 and not picked anything and still be fucking
Exactly.
forklift driving, you know?
So are you okay?
That's, I don't want that.
Would you support universal basic income? Or do you not? And anybody who doesn't know what universal basic income is, it's basically where the government pays you a certain amount of money per month, and they determine how much it would cost you to live. Just live. Basically, room and board, food,
Yeah.
and certain other bills is paid for. And then you are free, like
If you
food.
make your money or whatever, yeah,
You are free to
apparently.
go chase your dreams and your functions. I'm not a fan because people are fucking lazy, no matter how you
They're
look
already,
at it.
yeah.
So if you just give people fucking bills, they're gonna
And I
go
think-
find some other shit to do rather than actually chase their dream.
Yeah,
Because
it
dreams
can-
are hard to fucking get, dude.
You can't be anything you want to be. It's like some people like we shouldn't tell kids that, because you can
Not at
only
all.
be what you're capable of being.
Right? And what you put your mind to. I mean, you can't. You can only be what your drive lets you to be.
Yes, and you have to be able to admit where your weaknesses and strengths
Yeah.
are, and
You
that's
can
why.
work
That's
on
why.
it.
Yeah, that's why it's even more important to have, like, if you don't have close family or friends, or just a confidant or therapist or somebody, to the extent where they can say, "Hey, dude, you are wasting your time."
Right.
But I feel like some people have the wrong end of that, where they'll get false reinforcement.
They got backers.
Yeah, and then it's like, no, keep going, keep
Yeah.
going, and it's like you're further pursuing this person into a hole that they are digging themselves that they really don't want to be in.
And, well, that said person be there to help dig them out when they get to the bottom. Fuck no.
Exactly. Yeah, no,
Fuck
but
no.
but they were there rooting them on the whole time, and that's what's really kind of messed up about it. But I really don't know. I definitely want to go back to Columbus State and talk to, it's like open counseling. You could just walk in, and I
Yeah.
want to take my transcript and say, hey,
What do I need to do?
here's the credits I have. I know they have some courses and certification, some courses that double as certifications,
Yeah.
and really that's all I want, dude. Like
Aw.
I want to get the IT certification that will allow me to do the stuff I'm already capable of doing and can test
Right.
into.
You just
That will make
need
me,
a piece of paper that says, hey, this guy's capable of doing
Exactly.
this.
So I'm totally willing to take that time out of my life to go and get certified to do it, because I honestly think doing that will land me in the door to a job interview that will
Right.
pay at least twice what I make now, which
And you'll be doing something you like.
$15 an hour on a full-time job is only $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
And I would like to make $50,000 to $60,000 a year if I go to this school. And then the crazy thing is, if I go that far, why can't I go get another certification or something on top of that
Exactly.
that will get me that six-figure?
Because you
interview?
have that extra 30 grand to go do extra. You know
And
what
the
I'm saying?
whole biggest problem of it is I can't stop smoking pot to go get the drug test for
Oh,
these
you gotta go get a
legitimate
drug
jobs.
test? I know some
So,
people.
like-
I know some people that don't smoke drugs.
Part of me has been like, part of me has fought my entire adult life
But wait a second.
with myself about not using fake piss or like those kinds of
Right,
things, you know,
right.
because like I want to be an honest man at the end of the day.
I was going.
And I want to go into a job interview and say, hey guys, I'll take this piss test. I'll tell you right now, it's dirty for marijuana. I'll tell you right now, I'll show up for work and I'll do my job. And if I'm evidently incompetent and under the influence, just like any other employee
You can
would
get
be.
me out of here.
Yeah, but since we're in, and I feel hesitant to do that, even though we're in changing times and culture.
Exactly.
But that's what makes me, I don't entertain the idea of moving permanently very often because I'm very foundationally set up where I'm from,
Yeah.
and I'm comfortable where I'm at. But the only thing that makes me really want to move to those states like Washington and California and Colorado and where it's true, Michigan, where it's truly more
Legal.
acceptably legally
Right.
across the commercial employment level, because that's that's another whole nother hurdle and barrier for me to face after I go and get my certification, is literally detoxing myself from what I consider to be my daily medicine.
No
You
joke.
know, and that's,
I mean, just give it a minute and you will be fucking good.
I'm
Ohio's
hoping so,
changing,
but
buddy.
I know, but I can't keep using that as my excuse not to.
Well,
That's the trick.
what we need to do, me and you, and the gang of listeners, wherever you be, because I know you all over the world, hit us up.
Denmark,
Thejoker
India,
and the Smoker
UK.
at gmail.com. Ask us any questions you want.
Shouts
I'm
out
an
to us.
open book, motherfucker.
All
put
the
it on the
stateside
podcast.
listeners
I
and
will-
international listeners.
I will say your name, your address, your fucking
Phone
cock
number.
size, whatever you want.
Everything. But no,
no,
for real, hit us up if you
Everybody come to Ohio,
are digging what we're vibing.
kill all the old people, and then we should get the vote to pass.
Let's get all the old white guys out of the Senate and the House majority and all that shit.
Well, no,
It's
I'm
probably
just
changed
talking about the
drastically.
old white people that vote in Ohio. I'm not talking about the Senate.
Ohio's a really crazy swing state, though.
It is.
And like,
It's
I
insane.
don't get into politics too much, but I just know Ohio's pivotally important, which is why I have to go to the polls next time.
Well, I mean,
Speaking
it's
of-
it's just as if you go drive around
Mm-hmm.
Ohio, because we're in London and it's pretty close to Columbus.
Right.
London is like actually, I would say, a larger city in Ohio because I drive around for a living.
Right. Compared
I
to just
see
so
all the
many
towns.
of them
It's
aren't
just
even that big. Yeah.
rural. It's just fucking countries, towns. It's just
It's
farmers.
flat
It's
farm,
old
yeah.
fuckers who are
Yeah.
farming. That's all it is.
And that's when you really kind of surprise yourself when you find out how big Columbus is on the scale of big cities that you
Right.
don't even consider to be some of the
Right.
biggest.
And then everybody who does smoke pot wants it to pass. Well, they already got fucking felonies for smoking pot, so they can't fucking vote.
Yeah, that's true. Because they got arrested on a fucking traffic charge and had
Yeah.
possession of paraphernalia
Yeah.
and a gram.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And then back in the day, before it was decriminalized, that's a fucking felony. It's a drug. That's Schedule 1, buddy.
Exactly, and I almost got myself into trouble when I was doing hard drugs, and I caught a charge for possession of Schedule 1 narcotics, but I didn't get pinned for them, luckily. So
You
thank
plead-
God I can vote and own firearms still. But
That's so great that our fucking government lets us plead down to fucking lesser shit.
and it is, but
Rather
it,
than
but
like
it
in
is, but
India where they shoot you in the fucking hand
that's
for
really
stealing
good, yeah,
a fucking
but
Twinkie.
it breaks the judicial system. I found out.
It does.
People don't get sentenced and penalized for the crimes that they commit
Right.
because they agree to a lesser, what is it called?
A lesser
Okay.
sentence.
Yeah, sentence and penalization or whatever,
Yeah.
incarceration. What's the rate at which they conviction rate?
Oh, you.
By getting more people to plead down and not bleed out the
Yeah.
judicial process,
Yeah.
you get them to plead down and you keep your conviction rate, because judges and prosecutors, based on counties, cities, and states in the United States, just how it's all separated federally and stateside,
Right.
in every county, city, state, you have your judges and courts, and all of those courts and judges have prosecutors and administrators and things.
Right.
And in all of those places, most of those people get reelected based on prosecution
Like
percentage
your
and
count,
rate.
right? Your
Yeah,
count.
you know, how many people are you actually putting behind bars for the crimes that they
Right.
commit? Well, that's actually the it doesn't weigh apples to apples when
Right.
you have 40% of the people coming in on their charges being drug related,
Right.
and
being
you know,
able to plead down.
80% of those people
Right.
pleading to a crime they didn't actually commit. And so they are getting in trouble and they are getting a charge,
Or they
but
might
it's
have-
not penalized for what they did.
Or they
So
might have still.
it's a very false representation.
They still
of
might
our-
have
of our
committed the
democracy.
lesser charge, but since they're willing to plead down, that's
And like you said, it's better than being shot in the head on the spot.
I mean,
Yeah.
it also saves the court system. It saves them a lot of money because
Time
if you just
and yes.
if you just plead down, like okay, you're done with.
Exactly.
We're
And
done.
most
bam.
of the time, I can say in my own experience and from what I know, as long as you try and are a fairly respectable, decent person in presence of lawyers and judges
Yeah.
in courtrooms, and don't fuck up continuously, relentlessly, and unforgivingly,
They'll treat you
can
right.
you can get that chance.
Yeah, they'll
back.
treat you right.
Yeah, and granted, granted I can't speak for any other color-skinned individual. I was blessed being white. I can't roll the dice on that one. None of us can.
Sorry, I didn't mean it. It just popped up in my head. I'm sorry, that's my bad.
None of us can.
That's only on the video.
That's hilarious, though. That none of us can be sorry for being what color we are, but I can at least say my experiences probably would have been different had I been a young black individual.
Mine were too. Mine were too, because I pleaded guilty to both my charges, and they were just like, all right, well, just walk out of the courtroom. You're good.
Probation, sign up, yeah.
I didn't even get probation. They were just like, oh, you showed up to court? Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you later.
Yeah.
Like, that was the end of it.
It's amazing. And I feel like, you hear if you ever have a doctor's appointment, you should always schedule it in the morning. Because just like everyone else, doctors at the end of their day don't give a fuck.
Well, wait,
So-
I think what they say is you want to do it either early in the morning or right after lunch.
Yeah, because that's like second wind of the day or right when they're fresh. Because
They say that about like court hearings. Like if you go right before lunch, they're like, "Fuck
trying
this,
to go to
fuck this
exactly.
dude.
I'm
We're
trying
trying to
get
go to
through
lunch.
this,
Get the fuck out of
Especially
here."
if it's a long day
Yeah.
and there's 30 people in that court. Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's when the argument comes into play of not only judicial law judges and those kinds of things, but policemen and people of very high security in our society. It's almost not even a human job that should be possible, because it's
Yeah,
like there's so
exactly.
many human factors that throw reasoning out the
Right.
window.
and depending
At
on
the
how
end of the
your
day-
day is going. Say your wife you caught your wife cheating on you and you show up to work anyways. How is that going to affect how you act towards somebody else?
Yeah, you
Rather than
you
if
can't
you got
just
a
say
blowjob before work,
yeah, Pardon me, Judge. I just literally caught my wife cheating.
What's not
my
even
life's
that?
falling apart.
Just being a cop, and how your attitude would
That
change,
too.
pulling somebody over.
That's true.
If you caught your wife fucking cheating, or if you got a blowjob right before you walked into work.
Exactly, or any other part of all of our lives that fall over into every other part.
If you see a dude driving 5 miles an hour down the road, if you just got a blowjob, you might be just like, okay, let him go.
Fuck
but if
him,
your
yeah.
wife just got caught, you just got your wife cheating.
guy.
Fuck this dude, I'm gonna go get him.
I'm gonna get him on multiple charges and plant this.
Yeah,
bag.
exactly. And plant this bag. I don't know anything about that. but-
Yeah, right. I really wonder how many cops are crooked, but my heart of hearts tells me to believe they're not.
Listen,
But if I was a cop, I don't know.
You got
I can't-
Netflix?
I can't. Yeah.
The 7-5.
Okay.
Dude, a whole.
Is it a fiction or not?
No,
Is it, like,
it's real. It's
Okay.
real. A whole graduating class from a police academy.
Went corrupt.
No, didn't go corrupt.
Yeah?
They were corrupt. They either all died or were taking money from the mob.
Whoa.
And then in another fucking not another version, but another like side story. There's some dude who's a cop in New York, and fucking they don't get paid no money at all.
Of course.
They don't get paid no money.
Yeah, cops
He
really
starts showing up in a brand new car every other day.
Oh yeah.
He's just like, ooh. And then they were like, okay, what can we do?
Might as well check his finances.
Yeah, but it's called the 7-5, and it's
I'm definitely gonna check it out.
But it's back in the day but you also have to look at it as, okay, do we have room in the jails? So can we take these people to jail? Is it worth our time? Is it worth our paperwork? Are they even going to get charged?
That's one thing. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, speaking of jails, man, they're privatized, and it's crazy, dude. People literally.
Some of them are, right?
We make
Not all
money.
Of them.
I think most of them, but it breaks my heart that people make money off of incarcerating other humans.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's the most inhumane thing ever. Yes, I think there needs to be jails and punishments and ways to harbor individuals that are dangerous to our society.
Right.
But the number of wrongfully incarcerated individuals based on nonviolent offenses is absolutely through the roof, and that's what saddens me, because you always hear about people in jail getting better dental plans, meals, and other things than people who are living in poverty.
Well, people
in jail get dental checkups twice a year.
They have to.
Yeah.
By law, they have to.
Crazy, but yet we don't have universal health care. Not income, health care. But our prisoners get it. We give it to our prisoners.
We do.
And we make money off of them.
We do.
And we don't give it to people who are impoverished or those who pay their taxes.
We make money off of them, but then like some of it goes towards taxes. But the only thing I would have to say, and I don't know the facts, the only thing I would have to say about privatizing the prison system is it actually saves a whole lot of money. because they showed like the studies in the sport that are privately run. And just like any government business,
Right.
it costs more for the government to do something than it would take for a private business
individual,
owner to
right.
do it because they want to save money.
Yeah.
Where the government's just like, we have unlimited fund. It
That would
just
be-
raise
yeah.
the taxes. We'll get more taxes. So that's the difference, where it's like a third of the cost to run the prison.
But there are federal prisons, correct?
I believe. Yeah, there has to be.
Yeah, there are. Federal,
Like that's maximum security.
Yeah, I believe so. So that'd be an interesting foray to dive into one episode or something. Like
Look into the. I've never been to jail. I've
I
never
know
been to prison.
someone. I know someone who was heavily incarcerated for like 4 or 5 years.
Oh, damn.
I would be interested if they would be interested to share their story, because I think it's just he's a young individual. I literally went to high school with him, and it shaped him to such an extent that he's now back out. And I pray to God and hope for all of his best success because of the factual statistics of repeat offenders once people
What is that
people
called?
spend long time.
What is that called? Repeat offenders.
I honestly
I forget what it's called, but the percent is fucking out the roof.
Astounding. It's like 80%, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like 70% after 5 years, but then when you jump to like 7 years, it turns up to like 95%.
Yeah, definitely. We gotta check those percentages for us, and
Don't,
we're
because
gonna
they're
check
factual.
ourselves.
Check those out.
Because for real, but that really just shows you the conditioning of our society, where one thing that prison does provide that society doesn't
Right.
provide naturally out of high school is
Structure.
and routine.
That's it.
Yeah, and suddenly you find these individuals who end up leading themselves back into this structured
Yeah, that's why
routine lifestyle. And
there's-
they don't even know subconsciously that they have the lapse
Right.
in an ability to form it themselves outside of it and make a better life for themselves. And that's what I think that's my whole argument for prisons is like we're incarcerating people instead of rehabilitating them. And if they've done something wrong, they need to understand the terms to which they have done wrong.
Right.
And you need to come out of prison a different individual than you went in, the same way rehabilitation centers
That's a
work.
good point. I think prison juvie should be okay for people under 18 because that's a fucking timeout.
Right?
But once you get past the age of 18, they know better, or they should know better, right? They're a grown-ass adult. So if
And
they make a mistake, non-violent mistake,
Right.
maybe they should be actually rehabilitated like a halfway house. Like, yes, they're still
Just
they still can't
account for
leave,
their own actions. Yeah.
but they need to understand, like, they need to talk to a therapist rather than being, you need to go into a box with a million other dudes.
There's a whole
Good luck.
medium that we haven't explored. It's just either throw them in the pen
Right.
or give them probation. It's like, well, those probation is making somebody walk a thin line that they know very well which the wrong and right are, and being thrown in a box makes you against the world, bro.
Yeah.
And nobody everyone has felt like they're against the world at some point in time, and they haven't even been in prison.
Right.
Especially
I think
when
prison would make it worse because you're solitude.
And I've only been in jail once, and I was in Tri-County, and I think I had to go for 2 separate weekends because they split up my sentence or whatever.
time.
Yeah, and it was crazy, man. It was a learning experience. It widened my spectrum of experience on life. And that's all I
Still,
can
even
say.
that's bullshit.
Right?
Like what the judge said, that's bullshit. It's like,
split it up, yeah.
hey, you have 4 days, okay? But I'm not gonna let you take those Monday through Thursday. I'm gonna take away your weekend,
Yeah.
okay?
Weekend sentencing.
And it's like, okay, how old am I, motherfucker?
Yeah, it's literally the equivalent of grounding somebody.
That's what I'm saying. Time out. Go to timeout.
And
Go sit in the corner.
Go to work, pay your taxes, give us that money, and then on the weekend go sit in jail.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, fuck you. I guess I'll do that and whatever.
Oh, just because you want to make your money, I need to go
I
on
guess.
my weekend.
And how much are these
time.
fees going to be too? Thanks a lot. Yeah.
You cocksuckers.
But yeah.
Man, it was great being back.
Dude, it is. It's great filming a full episode again, and we are back on it. It's Monday, like the 16th, I think, something like that. 15th, maybe. Whichever it
It's
is.
the 15th, brother.
15th.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, we'll be coming to you guys soon,
Back
and
in
definitely
the
hit us up on the
saddle.
5-star reviews. Help us out a bunch. Just tell your friends about us and friend us on all of those social media things because you guys are. I mean, I got Brandon and I got like my imaginary friend named Geppetto, and then
Geppetto, what
I got-
race is he?
I got you the same race as the
Hey.
guy as Pinocchio.
I'm Geppetto.
It's like I'll have to look that up. Fact check us.
Dude, I was going to talk about a whale. But that's for another episode. They did whales just like they did priests in the Catholic Bible. I mean, in the Catholic Church.
Like Moby Dick, or like?
No, just whales and all together. Like whenever a whale would attack like a trainer at SeaWorld,
Okay.
they would just move it around. And whenever a Catholic priest would get caught pedophiling some kid, they would just move him around.
Wow. That's the close of the episode, you guys.
But again, those are fucking facts, people.
It's true.
Those are facts.
Most like a large number of the Catholic dioceses who were like accused ended up getting moved.
Oh, that dude David didn't even live here. David didn't live here. He never raped you. David lived over here. David never lived here.
He's been in Alaska for 3 years.
Yeah, what are you talking about? We got the papers. Who made the papers? We made the papers.
I hate when people feel like they can't face themselves when they look at other people who they commit themselves to. You know, whether it's a loved one or a friend or whatever the case is, if you can't look at that other person the way you look in the mirror at yourself and give them the honest truth, you're doing them a true disservice that is disrespectful if you consider them to actually be a friend. And this crosses many, many levels, you know, and disrespect crosses many, many levels, and distrust crosses many, many levels, and love and trust and respect all cross those exact same levels on the polar opposite. It really is the duality of life.